What percentage of Planned Parenthood's funding is federal dollars, anyhow? Do you know?
Well, what I can say is, nearly half of our patients are using Medicaid services to access Planned Parenthood. What that means is not that we're getting a blank check from the federal government.
Yeah, that's not a grant
Right.
from the federal
No,
government.
no. It's a reimbursement for services provided.
Right.
So if you come in and get
Just
an
like
STD
any
screening,
other doctor's office.
just like any other healthcare provider, you come in for an STD screening, we're going to get a check that reimburses us for those costs. And what that does is it allows us to provide free and low-cost services to all the communities that need it most. So when folks talk about defunding Planned Parenthood, quote-unquote, quote, defunding Planned Parenthood, what they're talking about is taking away healthcare access to the 2.5 million women that come to us each year. And that's really the bottom line of it.
Because federal law today, I don't agree with it, but federal law today does prohibit any federal dollars to be spent for any abortion service, correct?
That's correct. That is correct. The Hyde Amendment does do that.
Yeah.
And although we live in the world as it is, right, we follow that law to a T, we're also fighting for a different world, right, where the amount of money that you have in your pocket doesn't determine what kind of access to health care you get.
Right. Now, you are organizing a big movement, right, a grassroots movement to support Planned Parenthood, or exactly what it's?
Yeah, I think that grassroots movement is organizing me, to be honest with you.
Well, you know what? That is the truth about so many things going on. Just like starting with the Women's March, right, in January, right. This grassroots is alive more than I've ever seen it.
That's right. Folks know ever since, November 9th, folks have known that something is askew in our country. Right after the election, we had folks come to our health centers. We had a 900% increase in folks asking for IUDs at our health centers. And I think what that is indicative of is folks knew that there were going to be threats to their ability to access basic things like birth control. They also knew that there was a way for them to take their power back. So we've seen folks rising up in every community across this country saying enough, saying no. Coming against Planned Parenthood is taking this too far. The Women's March is such a great example of that, a grassroots organic movement of folks that said we have to do something.